I just want to introduce everyone. This is Reggie Sweeney running for city council. We need some choice in our elections. Otherwise, it's vote for one and there's one choice.
Well,
Unbelievable.
he's not getting that shit because I'm going to make that ballot. So this is who you're talking to, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And then I got my audience plugging in and they can hear you. So what's your questions to me? And how the hell are you helping somebody else out when you're supposed to be helping me? But I'm only kidding because I got tough skin.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to meet everyone, and he seemed very sincere.
I read his
And
bio. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't see any objections. So I don't know where these maybe it. How do you know this?
I'm good.
Where do
All
you
I
get
know
this
is
ledger?
you could do the I have his information because I went to do some business and here's his information right here. Look, this is his stuff.
Yeah, I saw it too. I
Yeah.
helped.
All right.
Yeah, I was helping.
I got this on a whim going into a meeting with someone else, and I'm like, holy shit. So they don't even count me in, which I'm good. I like it like that. Because I made up a bunch of videos and shorts to knock this guy off his ass. So Cecil Henry, he's an ex-military guy, and the way that flyer is appearing to me, basically advocating for Palestinians. I'm not, that's he's got a national campaign going on instead of a local, in my perspective, and that's why I wasn't worried about the competition coming from that end. And then he's got emphasized on freedom, peace, and justice, 100 1 day parking signs, regulations, and congestion tax credit, resource for STEM and all of that stuff. So that I get it. And then the local promoting urban racing lead and mentorship program weekly city council meeting for the 36th district residents. So you know what are we talking?
I've been doing some research too, and I've listened to some of the issues with this Aussie current. I like everybody, but I also want constituent services, right? As a constituent, we want constituent services. That should be the focus.
Exactly.
And I was just looking around, and it turns out that he's in a fight with Palladino, some city council person in Queens, right? And they're fighting out. And I'm thinking, what about the constituency?
Let
Aren't
me
we
ask you a
supposed to
question.
be focused?
That he's in a fight. Who are we talking about? She or Shay's in a fight with somebody else, another council person?
Yeah, in
Over what? What's the
Queens,
policy?
they're battling over something.
Well, he's a socialist. Let's get this shit straight. And he's working with the working family because I went to a socialist meeting on 470 Broadway. Your man Theo, he sent that email. You had the undisclosed location right hours before it's time to appear. They sent over the address, and I found that it was on Vanderbilt. It was really good. I did an entire video of that whole entire. They had a guy
Wait,
clear.
when did this happen? This was recent or a
Yeah,
while
no,
ago?
this past week, and then we missed the mayoral debate at Mega Evans the other day with the clown face. They threw him out.
Wait, I was there. I recorded that. I
You
wanted
was
to
at Mega.
discuss
Why you
that.
don't tell me no shit like that when you go into these meetings
Well,
like
how do I know that things are important or not important? The
that, man?
sad thing about
Who you think you're talking to? All you got to do is say,
was it this.
all you got to do is say, Reg. By the way, did you know? Other people send me stuff, so it's cool. I'm not worried about it.
All right, yeah. I apologize. I would have, but I thought it was nothing. I even wrote to Theo saying, I don't want to waste my time unless somebody's really showing up.
Did
It
that come
turns out
through the chat?
that,
Did that come through the chat?
excuse me?
Came to his chat.
The mailing list, the
Okay,
mailing list.
I'm getting
There's
that
a,
stuff. He sends shit every day. I can't be a track. Okay, so let me
wait,
ask you.
wait. So wait, so there's people actually chatting here. What's going on here? Who are you? I like this.
You
Dominic.
got people
Hi.
popping up. I'm making
Oh,
your show.
people are chatting. Yeah. So, do you want to? Can you see the chat? Can you answer? Because I
What
mean,
do
it's
you
very
want?
hard.
The questions are not directed to me. It's your show.
Hello there. We are the people. Said hi. Yeah. So that's good stuff. Everyone in the chat, welcome. Thank you. If you have questions, post something. But the maybe it's because of you, Reggie. We've never had chats
No,
before.
everywhere I go, nobody never gets the volume. I should get paid for all the shit I do. Everywhere I
I
go,
know, I know. Well,
we
believe
average.
me,
Yeah, well, you're blowing up right there with me coming on. You've never had that. Look at this shit. So
I know.
let's
I
make.
what
All right, first
what
of
did you
all,
do? Advertise it? We didn't advertise it at all. Maybe it's nighttime.
no,
But
make
the point is,
let me do this for you. My name is Reginald Sweeney, ladies and gentlemen, and that goes for my wonderful people, Chuck, George, and the rest of my live crew, southeast Venice. So my name is Reggie Sweeney. I'm the host of the Facts and the Porcupine Podcast, and I'm running for the 36th district of Crown Heights and Eastern and Bedford Stuyvesant. And on Monday, we are being challenged. We had to get 450 signatures. We collected 1,270 signatures, and the council person, she O'Shea, has a gentleman named Cooper at 39 McDonald challenged my petitions. If you challenge a person's petitions, ladies and gentlemen, you need to prove and bring forth to the Board of Election why you're doing it, and it could cost up to $5,000. So in this particular, excuse me, in this particular case, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, there's a lawyer involved, but the lawyer works for She O'Shea. So I'm thinking, has this council person paid this guy to challenge signatures, use his own lawyer, which is the taxpayers paying for this money? So this is the kind of shit that's going on right now. And at Von King the other day, Mr. Shithead, She O'Shea, stated that all of our signatures are fraudulent. So I was being kind because there was a park meeting. I never opened my mouth until the end. And then he said, "Oh, yeah, you came in last like a little freaking girl." And then we had the library opened up the other day, and we have a friends group, existing friends group, and he's the kind of guy that separates the district. Of course, he's a gay male. He calls himself a queer gay male, but I don't talk like that. So he's not going to be able to deal with the long lasting residents, certain populations of our district, and especially children. He's on parks. What did he do? I don't think he ever played in the goddamn park. So while he hides behind his TikTok and social media, we're going after his ass. Monday's going to tell me if I made the ballot. I got no money. I got to raise some money. So if you got any questions in the chat, want to know what's taking place with respect to why are they challenging signatures and shit like that, because he wants to run a polls. He's a socialist. He's getting things from the working family, and he's not good for nobody other than the community that he comes from, because he has no type of class or, in my perspective, in my observation, charisma to talk to everyone, especially children, young adults, and vice versa. He won the first election because of the Black Lives Matter movement, running out, protesting. Please, I've done so much shit in 2 years that he could never do in his entire life.
but we have to organize because we can see where the votes come from. It's very clear on the map, and it is not easy because it's like 12,000 votes he got or something like. I'm doing it from
He
memory,
got that
but
because of emotional stuff, pandemic, and a crisis. Now, the population ain't the same. And now that you have a new president where he's defining what is a woman and certain things, we fall back into the conservative side in a roundabout way because you got progressives, liberals pushing the Democratic Party to, in a sense, where that we got disenfranchised voters that don't want to vote no more, don't want to vote the party. And I'm running for a job position, not a goddamn social media like clicks and likes.
well, constituent services, right? I haven't even bothered to speak to the city council because they have no, uh, say in what I care about, like property tax. They have no say. They just are bumps on the log. And oh, they're talking about petitions, yeah. But I think some of the people aren't into government elections and things like that.
Well, we're going
So
to educate them. Let's look at what's being said in the chat. I want to read.
yeah, you can answer if
What?
you
No,
want.
no, you can. This is your show.
What the
I
contents
can't.
of the petition?
I left my glasses at the Board of Elections.
Yeah, I see what
See
it
if I can.
says. It says, "What are the
All right.
contents of
So
the
here we go.
petition?"
What's the segment. Okay, it's talk. We're talking politics tonight. What are still in the dark? Ha ha. Everyone acknowledges my question, but do not answer it. So, okay, get your thank you. What was the petition? Okay, so before we start talking to people, what's this guy's name? The one with the S. Shodi. What's his name?
It says Shudo, but
So,
it
oh,
doesn't
hold
matter.
on a second. Listen.
Reggie,
Yeah.
if you want to give the overview of a election
Right. That's
petition
what you do.
objections, you can
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
But I want to know who he is. I would love for you
Well, they're
to
not going to tell you
time
that.
out.
The
Time out.
people. This is like
Ralph.
speaking to the Reddit
Ralph.
crowd. Nobody
You're not
reveals
even
their name.
in the chat. This is how you do this. If you want us to answer your question, we would like to know what hemisphere you're from. And I know people use internet trolls and little icons to identify them, but we are straight up individuals. So what we're going to do is answer your question. So, what specifically what you want to know? Because if you're asking about petitions, that means you're not in the United States. Because most people in the United States would understand what the hell we're talking about. That's how you.
That's not true. A lot of people don't understand
Ralph,
the
please.
horrible.
You're not answering it. I'm answering. I'm telling you,
Okay,
because
you
you
answer.
don't
Yeah.
do it like I do it. And I know if somebody is not from the United States, they won't know what the hell we're talking about because he's putting in petitions. So that means to me that he's probably never voted, obviously. And if he doesn't know what a petition is, then we're going to help him. But if he's not from the US, then I'd have to explain it in a way that they can understand it. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Right, right.
we have
So let's see.
okay. You want to
Says
answer because you was just helping.
random guy from Arizona who stumbled on this. Yeah.
All right, so
So the
great from
okay.
Arizona. All right. So since you're from Arizona, young man, we are from New York, and anybody that appears on a ballot in the United States has requirements to fulfill to get on the ballot. So when you go to vote for your president or your vice president, you're going to see a ballot and it's going to have a bunch of names for different positions. Each position has a certain requirement. The requirement for us for this particular primary season, it was reduced to 450 signatures. So what that means is you must obtain 450 signatures from registered voters in the same party that you're running for. Now, did you get that? Did he put anything in the chat that he says, okay?
Yeah, because I have no idea, but we just have to move on
No, we're
because
not worried about it. We're going to train them. We're going to train them. So now that
okay.
you are interested in running for mayor or running for president, you get those petitions signed by your voters and you submit it to your local election board. And then if nobody complains about the signatures within 3 days in New York,
Object,
if they don't
object.
object to your signatures saying, well, all those signatures that you submitted, you wrote those names in. If that's not the case and nobody objects, you make it on the ballot. But in our case in New York, there's about easy 500 ejections from the mayor. All everybody's getting ejected because most people don't want you on the ballot, and we have ranked choice voting. So ranked choice voting is a lot different than winner take all. You know what I mean? So these are the things that we're dealing with. So now, what else is he saying? Now, as far as you're concerned, Ralph, you went around with Henry. Henry got
Yes, I
the same
did.
letter that they send everybody out. They send everybody the same letter, and the letter is very confusing. You get a letter saying that your name will appear on the ballot, but if nobody objects to you within the next 3 days, you make the ballot. But if you look at the ledger, his name is crossed out with another guy's name, and there's a comment in the remarks section. And I can send that to you, Ralph.
Well, you have it online, or is it some piece of paper?
You can't get the ledger online. You got to send it through the Board of Election. They got to email it to you privately because that server is not public. So what they know
Wow.
it. I have a hearing coming up. So I have the ejections. And this is a different type of ejection slip. It's called a
Objection, objection.
objection. It's called the premier. Well, this particular
Prima
ejection,
facie, yeah, prima facie, probably.
right. since the hearing and the court cases is on the 28th, all the comments, because all of these petitions and all these objections, it's a lot. I could tell you right now, there's over there's 35 pages of this shit. And
Yeah, I know that. That's what the party does. The party
they
is
did some
an
crazy shit.
objection machine.
So if I'm looking for my name, I looked high and low through this to see if there was any remarks. And most of the remarks is saying to the far right that you failed to meet the signature requirement. I didn't see
That's possible.
anything up next to my name. I stand to be corrected, but I damn sure didn't see it. Hold on, let me back.
Well, our friend Theo also requests this document over and over and over.
Theo
I've
was he,
read.
I seen him up there every single day, Ralph.
Yeah, but I think he requested just the way you do, and and I think I get it from him.
And your guy, as I look through the computer, I'm like, what the hell? As I look through the computer, his name was crossed out when I first saw it. And I saw that other guy, Jeffrey Bates.
Yeah, I did
I
see
saw
that
his
too.
ass and I told him the same thing. And I met with him in the McDonald's. I said, yo, your name is crossed out on the Board of Elections. Are you watching this damn stuff? And he started talking to me. Nah, nah, nah. I said, listen, if I was you, I'd take my ass down there immediately. That I spoke because they were open to 12 o'clock midnight. And I said, he told me he was going to go the next day. I said, well, it must be not important to you because I took my ass down there every day. I stand when I wait for the mailbox to come, the mail, because they said I got a FedEx letter, a box in FedEx sent to me by the lawyer. Because under the law, he has to show you the send you over all of the findings and shit. So I didn't see nothing under my name, and I'm looking for his name now.
Well, that'd be good if it was only two people.
It's only going to be
That's
two people. Oh, and it's a Chinese woman, Fang
oh,
Fang.
good.
Yeah, but she's not on the ballot. Her name is on here. You see what I do? Let me send you this shit, Ralph. Let me see if I can email you this.
Yeah, because I want to see what's this Chinese woman's name.
I'm gonna find her. Well, anyway, nevertheless, what did you do for Henry?
All we did was walk up and down Bedford or Nostrand and put the flyers in the business. He did everything. I was just taking pictures. And I just wanted to meet him. He's a nice man. And also, going back to that event, I met Paperboy Prince
I
right
saw
at
him in
this
the
event.
video.
You saw the video where he's on the stage and
They're
our
throwing his
district
ass
leader,
out.
well, our district leader required security and get this person out,
Who
get
was the
this
district
person out.
leader? Butler?
Say again? Yeah, our elected
Who
district
hosted?
leader,
Who was saying throw him out?
Henry Butler.
Are you
Yes.
out of your damn mind? Let me tell you something, man. The next time you go to an event like that and you don't let me know, I'm not talking to you no more. And I'm really serious.
I didn't even know it was
All
going to
right,
be
I'm letting
anything.
you know that shit, right?
Honest to goodness, Reggie,
All
I
right.
would
No,
tell
no.
you in a
Look at me.
heartbeat.
I'm just letting you know because that's bullshit. Because Butler and they held the they had a mayoral debate. Was that what it
Yeah.
was?
Yes, that's
I
what it
got
was. On CUNY, on public land,
no,
on
no. That
taxpayer-funded
into
land,
that shit.
and,
Yeah.
and on top of it, Andrew Cuomo was invited, but it was called the Black Agenda or the Black
So
Meeting,
let,
and
let me say something. I
Pa-
swear to God, and I mean what I said.
Paperboy Prince is black,
I
and they wouldn't let him on
what
the.
is you went? I've been always calling you and telling you shit about that. When did that happen? Like Thursday or something?
Yeah, I forget. Yeah,
That's why
what?
you don't be like the rest of them, brother. That's
No,
what they do.
honest to goodness, I thought it was nothing. I even wrote to Theo saying it's a
Yeah.
waste of
You live in
time.
it. You telling me to let you know when shit's going on, and you go to
Oh,
that.
Reggie, I will always, but I can't tell the difference between things. I told you that there was the judicial meeting at Restoration Corruptoration Plaza, right? And you didn't show up.
Ralph, listen to me. I'm not. I'm. That's why I cut my. I got a couple of phone calls when I first was starting to get the petitions, and people calling me up doing the same shit. When the guy that called me, and then somebody called me, and then they're talking to me, and there's another person on the phone. I went fucking crazy on them. And you know who the other person was my sister, and I told them to their face, I don't give a shit who it is. When people do that, that's why I run my own campaign. I don't get involved with anybody. Now, technically, you were campusing with that guy, and my ethics would tell me, like, we could stay cool, but I think you should still work with them because you're doing a lot. And for me, I'm assuming because you could do whatever you want, but for me in politics, that's not good. So I probably would shy away from people that do shit like that. Because
Uh,
I
my
know
my
I already
my agenda, my
I
agenda is constituent services.
well
The
I
people
got
in
that
this
all squared
district
away. What I'm going to be doing for constituents.
deserve better.
Well, anyway, I'm pretty much um now I know that everything I've been doing is right. Well, I'm not even going to send this. I'm just going to look to see if his name. Well, I saw his name crossed out off the ballot by the Board of Election. So you should call
I'm
it.
not.
You
I'm
should
not
go.
even seeing him at all. I don't
Excuse
see.
me. Yeah, because that new ejection. I don't know what you're looking at. You could be, and you're like somebody else. You never done this process, but all I know is I saw his name crossed out. I saw Jeffrey Beats cross named out. I told him when I saw his ass, his name was crossed out. And when he looked, when he went up there to look, he texted me on the phone and said, "Do I know an election lawyer?" So that means to me that they kicked his ass off the ballot for not responding. He could have had an imperfection. Now maybe your guy Henry's on the ballot. I don't know, but I do know matter of fact, let me see something. Because I sorted out everything. I'm ready for this court case on Monday. I got all my shit ready. And I got to fill out the conflict of interest forms. And there's a couple of things. I got some deadlines I got to meet because I was waiting to meet to see if I made the primary. And I didn't want to do all this damn disclosure stuff knowing that I didn't make the primary. Here's a document that if you're not looking at this,
Sorry, I got interrupted.
this is what you need to be looking at.
Right, right. But I
So
think
your boy
Theo
is
gets
your,
that.
your boy
I
is
think
on. Listen to me. Your boy is on here. I'm going to take a photograph and send this to you. Well, I can't do it because you got the phone.
right,
He,
but Theo, I think, asked for that over and over and over,
of
and I
course, because
thought,
Theo knows that every day or any day somebody could kick you off the ballot.
right, right, right.
See, my name, I don't even see your people on here no more. This is an updated sheet. See,
Anything I can do, see, he says, anything I can do, I'll support the
look,
cause
look,
from
look.
Arizona.
You can
Thank you
see
from
that.
Arizona, but
Wait a minute. Hold on.
we,
What did
we
he say?
need a lot of help here in New York City.
You speak for yourself. You speak for yourself. I
You
don't.
want help? Okay.
Arizona politics is different than ours, but the young man, can we chat? Type something in the chat. Are you able to do that?
Yeah, you can chat. I mean, you're part of it. Yeah.
Um,
You can just click on the little chat.
where's your
Talk.
chat box? The little box.
Oh, I can remove the chat, but
Don't remove the chat. We want to put in something.
I think, yeah, you're allowed to chat.
Yeah, but I'm.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see if I can reply. No, I'm not. Is it the square box to do it? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
What I see,
He said, "Say hi." I'm trying to. Oh,
it's not
say
clear.
hi.
It's not clear. Yeah, I think you
All right, I
can
said
put in.
hi. All right, I
Oh,
said
you know
hi.
what? You can join the live stream on the computer and then chat. You can do that.
But
That's what I did.
I'm on
Yeah.
my podcast, and I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah, maybe, but you can open up a new tab, just
I can do
live.
that. I'm going to do that right now. Um, I
Yeah, I'll,
I don't want to
yeah.
find people off because they good. We got. But anyway, like I said, I'm looking at the ejections, See,
I'm
they
gonna
said
turn off
they
the
said they said a different type of ejection. Your boy has been
objection. Say it. Objection.
objections. I don't give a shit. They've been knocked off. He should call. You should call that guy up that you was helping, and tell him to check the damn check. He's got to check his mail. That's how the other guy got knocked off. He wasn't checking his mail.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and so we want to thank. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. You did put the chat. Welcome.
I'm
And
trying to
so
type in stuff, but I don't. So I do a
yeah, I
reply.
see you. You said hi. Said hi. You
I said
Reggie
hi.
said.
I'm trying to write a note on your. And is it the square box? You don't understand what I'm asking. Live chat.
Well,
Let me see. Hold on a
on the
minute.
computer. Don't do it on the phone. Do it on the computer.
Okay, let me see.
I can put the link to it right here.
Send me the
I,
link to the email so I can just go right to the computer.
but I think you already wrote said hi, so you know how to do
Now,
it.
you're not really listening. That's the shit that I'm saying. I can't type on your phone, on the phone. Every time it said hi on its own, and I clicked it.
Oh,
Now I want to write something.
oh,
You don't get it.
gotcha.
Send the link
So
to me.
I'll text message you the. Oh
No.
no, I'll
you-
email you. I'll email you the link. Is that?
Yeah. And I'm already on YouTube, and I'll just click the link, and
Yeah,
then
I'll do that. I'll do that.
so that's
And
where.
so have you interacted with Paperboy Prince?
Why would I
He's a
want to
character.
talk to somebody that walks around with clown on his face?
Well, it kind of makes for a
He's what?
better.
His petitions are ridiculously effed up. As I pulled the petitions, look at this. They gave me all my petitions, and all I said to them, I was coming to look at the petitions. They printed them out, and it was $37, $31 and some odd cents. And I said I didn't ask to pay for that. He just gave them to me. Here's the paper, and look, this is what the lawyer sent me. My phone is going low. That's why I got to get off it. I got to charge it.
Yeah, we can stop at any point, and
I
thank
have no
everybody for
problem.
joining.
Send me the link. I'll go onto the computer and we could do it.
I already sent you the link
All right,
through email, and I'm looking up your name, and I do see a lot of objections, all on April 4th. Cooper
exactly.
Cooper
Cooper.
Lund.
So you see that. Now,
Yeah, I
if
do
you
see
can see
that.
mine, you can see your friend. You can see Oshie, Henry, Reggie Sweeney, and Jeffrey.
No, I don't see. Maybe you have a more complete document. I see him. I see because I'm looking for the word Henry. I don't see it at all.
I'm gonna send.
Henry. Yeah, I just see two Henrys, and it's a different.
All right. So
Uh,
now I see myself. I'm getting off the phone. I'm gonna send you what you need.
well, you
What?
have to stay on the phone, otherwise you can't co-stream. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought that you said that I could do this on the computer.
No, you can chat on the computer on the live stream, but you cannot. You have to stay on a phone to be part of the co-stream because this is a Google feature. And we've already gone about. It says 5 minutes. Oh yeah, but it was. I think there was minutes before that too.
Hold on, I'm
I
trying.
think I accidentally stopped and resumed it. So
All right. Well,
anyway, there's at least 7 people on, which is nice. And the point is, if for everyone who's joined, the New York City election system is controlled by the two dominant parties. The New York State Constitution
right.
allows for this. And it seems as if the Republicans are in second place, obviously, because they don't control almost anything except for some counties upstate. And they're willing to keep this second place position as long as they try to crush any other parties or any other independents or any other groups. So they're willing to work together, it appears, to crush people like Reggie, like any insurgent, and it's just not right.
Well,
It's not right. It
and
should be more. There should be more choice and more collaboration and more things rather than less. Right? We should not have a Republican Party that does not exist in North Brooklyn. They
I think New York is going to flip Republican one day because if the Democrats don't get their shit together, with
Right, but Reggie, we have to be realistic. People will vote and just down the party line. They vote in North Brooklyn, don't they vote as they're told?
how do you know?
Again, I don't know that,
Right.
but the no, but look at the evidence. It's 100% Democrat. When we go into the general election in North Brooklyn, it says state senator, vote for one, and there's one choice. State assembly person, vote for
That's
one,
you don't have
and
other.
there's one choice.
That's when you have people that get knocked off the ballot. That's why they do that. But when there's competition, there's opportunity for people to knock them off. I think I'm going to knock this guy's ass off because
Absolutely, yes. But I have a feeling that the Working Families Party and they
do
probably
whatever they
have.
want. They can do whatever they want. They don't live in our goddamn district.
I couldn't agree more. The
And
the
you know,
previous
let me tell
state,
you something. I know a lot about politics. I don't think you know that. I'm a
the
political. Know a lot of
yes,
shit.
I know, you know,
You
but
speak.
the previous state assembly person that was running didn't even live in our assembly district,
Well, they
right?
can't do that no more. You gotta he. You got to
That's true.
movement in the
That
Democratic Party. Then
yes, that's true. He won't be able to run again unless he moves into the district. You're right. And
they're
what happens to someone who wins who's not in the district? They're forced to move even, right? They have to move
you
into
gotta
the
live
district
in the district. It's as
or
simple.
resign, right?
Gotta live in the district.
No, but during these so-called
Some,
redistrictings,
yeah, but
you're
some of
allowed to live anywhere.
no,
You
you're
could
not.
live in
No, you're,
Nebraska, it
no,
appears.
you're not. No, you're not. You're not allowed. So stop it.
During redistricting, you can. That's how, I mean, it wasn't illegal. I
I don't
reported
think
it
you
to the
was.
Board of Elections.
I'm dealing with this shit right now. You win this seat and you're not a resident in the district. You have a certain period of time to
To
move,
move in, yes. I know, I
and
know.
it rules
Well,
should change.
it's
It rules.
only allowed during redistricting, during those, you
Ralph, you don't.
remember?
You know what? Hey, listen to me. You don't know what you're talking about. Who told you that shit? This has been a rule forever. Where are you getting this redistrict? They redistrict the district, and you run in a district that you don't live in. You think you're going to hold a seat in a district that you don't live in?
No, no, very clearly, I complained last election for state assembly that the person does not live here. Even the
What is?
Zinnerman, say again?
What did they tell you?
And they say during redistricting, that the election after redistricting, they're allowed to do that
What are
because
they allowed to do? Be specific. What are you saying? What are they allowed to do? I don't want my audience to think that you're right. What are they allowed to do?
they can look this up themselves.
No, but time out. You
What
don't.
you're allowed to
I don't
do is run in any election, but then of course if you're elected, you have to move into that district.
and how much
It
time do
makes
you get to move into the district? How long do you have to move into it?
well, we'll have to look it up. It's probably
Right.
30 days or 30 days. Yeah.
Exactly. So when you keep saying because of the redistrict you're allowed to do that, you've been allowed to do that shit. Redistricting ain't got nothing to do with the law.
Yes, it does. It has to do with
Well,
it
then you know
because
what? I'll stop
in
there.
general,
Hold on a
no,
second.
this
You
election, you have to be, in order to run, you have to be in the district, right? For this election, you can't just run for
wait a minute. What election you talking about?
any election, the city council, you have to
No,
be
you
in
can't
the.
in what you're saying, my man. If you listen to yourself carefully, if you are running for a public seat, you whether they redistrict the shit or they built a new whatever, you must live in the district
I
once
couldn't agree more,
they
but they make a special case for the redistricting year. You can look this up
the
yourself. I
redistricting
mean,
year is over. It was 2 years ago.
I know it's over. I know. And look at this. Look at this. Is there Raymond Van? Is Al Van's family? Oh, but it's Republican county committee, so it must not be Al Van's family. Wow, this is terrible. Yeah. Uh, so
Well, if
the end.
he's got Oshie signatures, he's got everybody from Vita on his signatures.
Exactly, because if you look at the so-called discretionary funding, the $600,000 of taxpayer money that the city council gets as a bribe in order to approve the budget the $117 billion New York City budget, expense budget. This, they call it discretionary, but it's really expense budget. But I think it's kind of, a deal that goes on between these council people, because remember, the council people have to sign off on the budget. And we've had a person named Justin Brannon here, and he actually tells us that they have to beg for transparency in the budget. They literally,
Ask you a
I mean,
question.
I don't think he used the word beg, but they call it units of appropriation. Do you know what these units of appropriation, the size of them? They're in the 7 billion range, 8 billion. These council people are signing off on appropriations that are $7 billion. And then when we say, as the taxpayer, we say, what is that being used for? Oh, don't worry. They actually have one that's called, um, was it slush fund, or I forget the word they use. So
Let me,
and it's like $3.5 billion, and it's just called lump sum. That's it. Lump sum. And I'm documenting it because they put it in our so-called transparency open data. The Office of Management Budget puts it there, right? But nobody looks at it. Nobody looks at
give me
the
a minute.
details, right?
I charge it from my phone, but I want to ask you a question. How much does a city council person get per year to spend for their district? I don't want to know about
It's
that.
about three. It depends on the area, but this Chi Asi, I think it's around $2 million, and they spread it out across nonprofit after nonprofit after nonprofit. You can tell the in favor nonprofits and the out of favor nonprofits by looking at that list. And he does give to the Vita people, so maybe that's why Butler's not running against him. He ran against him. But as you can see, Butler has lost in every election he's ever run except for the unpaid ones, right? As far as we can see, right? He's lost every single. He even ran against, isn't it against Mealy or someone like that? Right? Butler ran in other districts too for city
Let me ask you
council
a question. So
or state assembly, whatever it
every
was.
year, a council person gets for his district $2 million. You said, right? I thought you said 10 before, but it's 2 million, right?
Well, it Reggie, we have to look at the details. There's $600 million that's used as basically a bribe to the city council to sign off on the budget. Because if they don't get sign off on the budget, then that holds up the budget process, right? So the $117 million, or whatever the number is in the future, which is probably going to be trillion. And I think some of these candidates say that it's bigger than 47 states. New York City's budget is bigger than 47 states. Unbelievable.
Let me ask
So
you a question, the same question.
for city, but I just want to describe that there's $600 million, and some of it is called citywide. Don't ask me why. Brooklyn delegation. There's another one called, and these are $400 million in that bucket, and then there's 200 million in this Brooklyn delegation. Or these are rough numbers. I can show the details, and then each council person also gets 2 million of our taxpayer money, obviously, because they're just allocating our taxpayer money. I don't know why the taxpayer is not involved in this, but but and that goes to all these in favor nonprofits,
Can I
right?
ask you a
And some,
question again?
for sure,
Without all of this other stuff that you're saying, what does the council person get? I'm not talking about the bribe, whatever you're saying. I'm talking about a regular person. What do they get for their district? That's all I want to know. You said about 2 million.
the council person allocates about 2 million. We
They
can look at the
every
numbers.
council person gets about 2 million for that.
About, yeah,
So if you
of
get two,
expense money that can
right,
be doled out to all these in favor
we're not
nonprofits.
talking about a salary for having the job. We're just talking about money that they get that they can do in their district.
It's taxpayer money, right? Yes.
We know.
So,
So
yeah, it's important to
million times
emphasize that.
6 is 6 million, and Rob had 8 years times 2. So that's almost like a lot of $1 million. for
Yeah, you wonder why they get jobs afterwards in nonprofit.
mm.
Nonprofit. You wonder. Do you wonder? Do you wonder why?
Well, I mean, if you're getting money and the money is supposed to be used to either, if it's for repairs or whatever it is, you know,
It's
you it's
it's
expensive.
expense money. It's expense money, so it's usually salaries and other
So
patronage
then you're looking
jobs.
at apples and oranges because if the expense money, if he gets $2 million and he's got to pay for his office and this and that,
No,
that's
no, no.
just
These are completely separate. The office and things like that are paid out. That's kind of not even transparent. I guess we could
what I'm
ask for
trying
that
to
information. This
anyway.
is
Don't worry about it.
completely.
I'll ask somebody that's in the seat right now because you're not. Yeah, I'm getting you're throwing too many variables in. I'm just trying to find out what the city gives the council person for his area, besides his check. Do they pay for his office expenses, or does it come out of that money? I've been trying to get that out of you, but don't worry about it. I'll ask somebody that knows.
The links, I'll put the link right in here. It shows the details. It's as clear as mud.
And when it comes down to your guy, who you guys are, if I was him, if I was that guy, I would be checking the guy. So now this live stream that you're on, is it on Google?
Yes, it's YouTube. Yeah, I like YouTube because
Excuse me. My question again is because you mentioned something about Google. You're on YouTube right now. You're not using no other software. You're just on YouTube right now, right?
yes, yes.
And so that's it. So then we're gonna start doing that soon. I'm just
Yeah, YouTube is pretty consistent.
so when you go on YouTube into your channel, like I'm gonna do, and you just hit live stream and you're doing what we're doing right now. That's it.
Right, right. Well, it's a co-stream option that they're testing, so we're testing it. I'm beta
Time
testing
out for a
YouTube.
minute. Co-stream is something new, or is it the live?
Yes.
What is co-stream?
Co-stream means side by side. You see, we're
All right.
streaming side
You
by
have
side.
that. So if you go on YouTube and you click on co-stream and you send a link to somebody else, you'll see each other just like that.
Exactly. Isn't it cool? I think it's very cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do that for my interviews because I have the thing called on the record. So, um,
Yeah.
and then I'll keep it with the podcast because I'm doing the podcast and we're on the record here. Now,
I
let me do
I
my
think,
thing. Let me do something real quick. And I got my
but
headphones.
I would love if you look at this link because I'm going to put this link in the chat,
Mm.
and it answers all the details. City council. Yeah. There's
I
two
got to plug
different
my phone.
links.
Okay. Well, this is the Facts in the Porcupine podcast. We're having a good time. We got Ralph on the phone, helping another candidate, guys. I shouldn't even be talking, but I ain't worrying about it because I do what I do. But I'm trying to find you that information where your guys kicked off. Let me get a charger because I plugged in the back
Yeah.
charger.
Email me or give me the instructions on how to
I'm
get
gonna
it.
tell you. I'm gonna take a picture and text it to you.
Yeah, but I want to know who to email to get it because it's obnoxious that they don't
Well,
just publish it on the web. I think there's some delay in the posting. Anyway, if you go, Reggie, if you look at the chat, if you just go to that link, it
yeah.
actually shows from many years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Something is,
Yeah.
I think it's budget one. I'm sorry. I'm going to change that. Yeah, sorry. It's budget one. So let me change that. Can I edit that? Let me remove that and put it again.
Let me see if I can send you this because they sent me. So
Yeah, for some,
basically,
yeah,
your
that's the right.
your guy. Let me do board of election. I don't think your people were watching that mail because they slipped a letter on my ass and I almost got knocked off. It says ledger request.
Re-
Um,
Reggie, I have no guy, so you
No, no,
can.
oh, well,
Mhm.
well, you went with the guy. Come on, cut the, don't get on.
I walked with him yet to meet him. Yeah,
Yeah, well, you walk with him.
I want you all to win.
You don't want us all to win. You got to pick somebody, brother. You see what you don't understand. Fucking politics don't work like that the way you're doing, Ralph. You know, you could get. I usually
There's
put a gag.
nothing wrong with coalitions or something.
I put a gag order on the people that's in my. Once I find out on Monday if I made the ballot, whoever's talking to me about my campaign is signing a gag order. I don't want to be bothered. I'll do everything by myself because I don't like that kind of shit. That's
I
what
hear
the other
you.
guy. That other guy. That I'm gonna find this ledger. I got the ledger, the first one they ever sent me. My request for a ledger. That other guy wanted to look at my campaign literature. I'm like, are you stupid? So, I don't think people. The reason why the Democratic Party got this kind of crap going on because people don't understand how important this shit is. You can't just be doing certain things. You can't be teaming up with people. You stick with somebody because that again. All right, so listen, it's court challenge ledger. Oh, they sent me out a court challenge ledger. They can take you to court, but I want
Yeah.
that.
Well,
There's
I just want to describe that during that event at Medgar Evers on public CUNY space, public taxpayer funded.
they're allowed to do that. So stop it with that. You seem so
Well,
like
I didn't say it's illegal. I'm saying that
you
CUNY
saying it. You're
cannot.
saying it. You are saying it. You said it before.
No, I didn't say it's
You're
illegal.
giving
I'm
the
saying
impression that they're doing something wrong. You got to stop that.
no, no. I'm
Nobody
saying
like
that CUNY cannot discriminate against candidates. Right? It cannot favor
you
candidates.
know
It
how
cannot
many forms they
endorse
have in
candidates.
schools. What are you saying? You're the governor. They have it at big time campuses. How many college campuses
Right.
that you
But
seen
but
that have
but the
political?
event discriminated against Paperboy Prince, right?
Why?
Why is he not allowed to debate?
They did that
Why?
shit to me because he's a fake. Because they think guys that don't have a lot of money in their war chest. That's how they judge you.
Well, that's not how it's supposed to work.
Why would you think they wouldn't allow somebody to debate that came to the fucking debate with a clown face on, painted in clown?
No,
What's
they
wrong with
didn't know that he would had a clown
that
face.
bullshit? You know, come on, man. You know that's the problem. That's why I don't talk to people. Y'all think it's
Well, we
goddamn.
got someone. Someone says Republican trying to have discussion. La, uh, uh, Republican trying. Yeah, I can't even understand what is
What
that
is
comment.
what is he saying? And that, you
Republican
gotta
trying
learn
to.
something too. When there's a lot of people that hide behind the internet and they do
I
stupid
know, I know.
shit.
Well, this person has a real name here. Thank you, Peter, for your comment.
Peter,
But
like, all right,
my
so
point
Republicans
is
trying to have
that
a discussion. What
Paperboy
is that?
wanted
Excuse
to
me,
be
Ralph.
part of the debate. He's on the ballot, right? He got enough petitions. He should be
How do you
included.
know he's? I don't know if
Well,
he's on.
according to himself, you can look him up. Paperboy, is he objected? I don't see any objections to him. Has anyone objected to him? I don't see. According to the people in the know, he is on the ballot. So why shouldn't he be included?
According to the people in the know,
Yeah, people like
who are the
Theo.
people that you consider that's in the know?
Theo.
Yeah, Theo.
Theo kind of lives and breathes this stuff.
Yeah, well, Theo is who he is. And
Okay, if you know better, let me know. But I
I'm
don't
looking
see
for you
any. Of
right
course,
now.
I'm not. Oh, I do see an objection. Yeah.
Listen to me,
When
Ralph.
did,
You talking
when
to
did this
knows this.
come in?
You gotta really know what you just. How long you been doing politics?
Yeah. It's not about. Oh, but I do see one. Oh, but this was from many years ago, 2020. Yeah, so don't worry about
You're not
that.
looking
That's
at the right stuff, man. You're not looking.
Paperboy's been running for a long time. That's like
You're not looking at.
5 years ago.
You're not looking at the right stuff.
Yeah, I know. I have the history from many years ago.
You're looking
Anyway,
at old data, and you're looking at old shit. But let me find this for you before you go. So
okay, let's
the Board of Election.
and luckily we don't. The next thing you know, we'll have people jumping in.
Well, you're not. You. What the fuck is going on? Okay. So we're talking about elections, objections, people getting
Yeah,
kicked.
I'm looking on the internet. I don't see anything
Like
that
I
requests
told you
this
6
ledger.
times, what you are looking for, those internal documents do not go public. You cannot get it.
I didn't say I'm
No,
looking
but
for
what
the
I'm saying,
document. I'm looking for the instructions on who to email.
oh yeah.
Simply send
Let me
it to
give you
me.
this. Let me give you this. There's
Yeah,
a
if you
special email that you send them. Where the hell do it?
yeah, just send me an example because this is outrageous.
No, I'm gonna
Everything
send it right.
everything is winks and nods.
No,
It's
it's
just
not because it's
crazy.
the Board of Election.
I understand that, but everything should be documented. It should be
It is
better
documented.
documented.
There you go.
It should be public. It should be on the internet. It
Everything
should
is
be
public. You just don't know.
exactly right. Yeah. Well, what kind of
All right.
transparency is
So
that?
now, yeah. Well, you know, I can't believe I made a game that. Here go the email you sent. They'll email you tonight if it's not before 12. I mean, I'll be I mean, that guy. Like I told you, if you know that guy, Henry, you should call him up and say you should go check to see if you're going to appear on the ballot. That's all you got to say. And
Oh, okay. I will let him know. And I love this Google chat thing. You can put people in a timeout. Imagine that, these people in the chat, you can actually put them in timeout. That's hilarious.
all right, so listen to me. Here go the
Let's,
see this document.
yeah, I see it.
Can you see the emails?
What is it? What is it?
This is your gateway. If you want,
Oh, that's the instructions? All right,
excuse,
let me take a screenshot
excuse
of
me,
that.
excuse me. Get a pen so I can give you the email.
Oh, just put it in the chat.
I'm not
Everybody should
doing
know
that
this.
because I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna
Okay, okay.
give you the goddamn email. I'm not gonna do that. You
All
know,
right, what? But this is live on YouTube, so
good.
we'll.
So you're gonna get it live. Whoever wants to do it, they can do it too. Here go the email to any document you need that we're talking about right now. It's called the email is BOEL. You can type it in right now and send them an email while I'm giving it to you. BOELEDGER.
Wait. Board of Election
I didn't say that.
D.
I did
No,
not.
okay, but I didn't understand that last
I'm gonna repeat
BOEL.
myself again, and I'm gonna repeat
That's
it
it.
letter for letter again. It's and get your pen. You ready? BOELEDGER. You got that?
GER. Oh, Ledger. Okay, BOE Ledger. Yep.
At
At
BOENYC.gov.
but it's dot, right? BOE dot NYC? No?
BOENYC.gov.
Oh, really? Okay.
All
Does
you
it look
got.
right? I put it in the chat. Does that look right?
Um, listen, my man. Chat. They're so small. I'm on a.
All right, I'm just going to search the web and see.
That is exactly no. Excuse me. You're not searching. This is
I
not
was-
coming up on the internet. This is an internal email.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, do it. Let's
No,
see if
but
you
it
can
does.
get it. No, 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 no. Do it. I want to see you get it.
Yeah, it does say there it is for a
And
copy of the ledger, email, blah
right,
blah blah blah.
right, right.
All right. Yeah. So I will do that. This is and how many ledgers are there? There's probably a 100 million of them, right?
Ask them for objections and all ledger information. You should get a bunch of shit. It may even come to you tonight.
Cool, yeah, because they're working around the clock. This is the only time
There's
of
a
year
lot.
that they actually work.
And when you get the objection, if you look at the comment, the remarks side, and if there's no remarks in there, that means nothing happened. That means you have to go to
Ah.
court. I'm going to court because there's no remarks of whether they said that I didn't have enough signatures. There's no remarks saying they kicked me off the ballot. So I'm going to the court on Monday. I'm going in person.
All reply with all ledger and what information? Ballot information?
What happened?
How do you say it?
You're
All what?
requesting you're requesting an update on all objections and ledger information because the hearing is on Monday. So
Objections.
and
Thank
I'm
you.
hoping that I didn't have to and I missed one page by I have all my so we're good.
All ledger. I guess all ledgers, right? Or all ledger. I don't know. I have no idea what they're talking about. All ledgers and all objections, etc.
Your request man, okay. I know one
This
thing.
is obnoxious that we have to do this, but
What happened?
all right. So let's take a break.
I'm
We want to
good.
thank everyone who joined. Thank everyone who joined, and we'll say peace out. You ready, Reggie?
This is the Facts in the Porcupine Podcast. That show you can Google Facts.
Signing out.
Excuse me. You can Google Facts Porcupine Podcast, and we're still live on the internet. So you Google Facts, FACTX Porcupine, PURCUPINE Podcast, PODCAST, and you can log on with us, and we can pick up the chat, and we can go from there. Stay well, Ralph.
Yeah, you too. Peace out, Reggie. Thank you. Thank you
And
for
what?
joining.
And send me the link where the split screen. Send me that link so I could do that later on tonight. Thank you.
Well, but you have to be part of that YouTube. They're beta testing it, so I don't think it's open to the public yet. So you can
Right.
ask. Just go on to YouTube or Google and say YouTube co-stream beta test or something like that. I don't think it's public yet.
Oh, so
So,
you,
but
you got
it's
that because you're an IT guy. You figured that out.
well, I've been doing it for a long time. So yeah,
You've been using this
it's
feature
no,
for a long time.
no, only a week now. Only about a week.
All right.
Yeah.
No
But
problem.
you can probably live stream on YouTube already. All you
I'm
have to
gonna
do
take.
is go into.
I got it. I'm gonna take care of everything. I got it. I got it. All
Okay,
right. We
cool.
talk. Yeah.
All right, peace out. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining. Bye.